In 1994, at a University of Southern California Business School talk, Charlie Munger made a statement that has since become legendary in wealth circles. He said, quote, "The first $100,000 is a bitch, but you gotta do it. I do not care what you have to do if it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that was not purchased with a coupon. Find a way to get your hands on $100,000. After that, you can ease off the gas a little bit." Here is why he said that. Compound interest, the so-called eighth wonder of the world, is essentially worthless at small balances. Run the numbers yourself. At a 7% annual return, which is the long-term inflation-adjusted average of the S&P 500 according to data going back to 1928, a $1,000 portfolio earns you $70 a year. A $10,000 portfolio earns you $700. Neither of those numbers will change your life. Neither will outpace your contributions. Neither feels like wealth. But a $100,000 portfolio at that same 7% earns $7,000 a year. That is roughly $583 a month. That is a car payment. That is a mortgage chunk. That is, for the first time in your financial life, your money working harder than a part-time job. The shift is not gradual. It is a phase change, like water boiling. Below 100K, your contributions dominate. Above 100K, the market starts pulling its weight. And here is the part nobody tells you. We will get to it in a moment. Because once you understand the second pillar, you will see why even people earning $200,000 a year can stay stuck at a $40,000 net worth for a decade. According to the 2024 Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, the median net worth of Americans under 35 is just $39,000. Under 45, it climbs to $135,000, but strip out home equity, which most cannot easily access, and the liquid investment number collapses again. A 2025 Bankrate study found that 59% of U.S. adults could not cover a $1,000 emergency from savings. So why is the first $100 case so brutal? 3 reasons, and they compound against you. First, lifestyle creep. The IRS publishes income data every year, and what it shows is consistent. As Americans earn more, they spend proportionally more. Pew Research found that households earning over $150,000 save only about 12% more of their income than households earning $75,000, far less than the income gap would predict. Every raise gets eaten. Second, debt drag. The average American carries $6,500 in credit card debt at an average interest rate of 21.5% as of late 2025, according to Federal Reserve data. That debt compounds against you at 3 times the rate the market compounds for you. You cannot outinvest a 21% loan. You have to kill it first. Third, and this is the one most people miss, psychological invisibility. At $5,000 saved, you feel poor. At $50,000, you feel like you should have more. The portfolio does not feel real because it does not produce meaningful income yet. So people quit. They cash out their Roth. They buy the car. They tell themselves they will start again next year. And the clock resets. But here is what nobody tells you. The data from Fidelity's 2024 retirement study reveals something staggering. The average time it takes to go from $0 to $100,000 invested is just under 8 years. The average time to go from $100,000 to $200,000, just under 5 years. From $200,000 to $300,000, under 4. The first $100 K is not just hard, it is statistically the slowest 100,000 you will ever accumulate. Everyone after it gets faster. And that is exactly why crossing that line is the single most important financial event of your life. The next section is where most people get this completely wrong. You do not get to $100,000 by being clever. You get there by being mechanical. Here are the 4 levers in order of impact. Lever 1, savings rate, not income. The math is unforgiving. Mr. Money Mustache popularized a calculation in 2012 that has held up under every academic scrutiny since, including the Trinity study and updates by financial researchers Wade Pfau and Michael Kitzes. If you save 50% of your take-home pay and earn a 5% real return, you hit $100,000 in roughly 7.5 years on a $60,000 income. If you save 10%, it takes 22 years. The income matters less than the percentage. A nurse earning $70,000 who saves 30% will beat a software engineer earning $180,000 who saves 8% every single time. Lever 2, automation. Vanguard's 2024 How America Saves report found that participants in auto-enrollment 401(k) plans had a 93% participation rate versus 28% for opt-in plans. Behavior beats willpower. Set up an automatic transfer the day your paycheck hits. to a brokerage, a Roth IRA, an index fund before you see the money. Pay yourself first is not a slogan. It is a forced behavior change that bypasses the part of your brain that wants to spend. Lever 3, tax-advantaged accounts first. $1 in a traditional 401k at the 22% marginal bracket costs you only 78 cents of take-home pay. That is a free 28% return before the market does anything. Max your employer match, that is a 100% immediate return. And max your Roth IRA, $7,000 in 2026, for tax-free growth. Only after both of those should you touch a taxable brokerage account. Lever 4, index funds, not stock picking. SPIVA, the S&P Indices versus Active Funds report, has tracked this for 2 decades. Over 15 years, 88% of large-cap active fund managers underperform the S&P 500. You will not beat them. Buy VTI, VOO, or FZROX. Set it, forget it. Add to it every month for 7 years. That is the entire strategy. Quick question for you, drop it in the comments. What is the one purchase in the last 12 months you most regret financially? I read these. The pattern in those replies is the most useful financial data I see all month. In 2018, a high school chemistry teacher in Ohio named Sam Dogen, who later founded the website Financial Samurai, documented one of the cleanest $0 to $100K case studies in modern personal finance. But the more replicable story is Grant Sabatiers, author of Financial Freedom, and one of the most rigorously documented wealth accumulators of the last decade. Sabatier woke up in 2010 with $2.26 in his bank account. Not a metaphor, the actual screenshot is in his book. He was 24, living with his parents in Chicago, working at a digital marketing job, earning around $50,000. He set a 5-year goal to reach financial independence. The first $100,000 took him 18 months, but only because he stacked side income aggressively. The cleaner story, the one that scales for a normal earner, is what he did with the savings rate. He tracked every dollar in a spreadsheet. He brought lunch to work. He drove a used Toyota Corolla. He moved into a smaller apartment when his lease ended. He invested every spare dollar into Vanguard index funds, VTSAX specifically. And here is the part most people skip when they tell this story. He negotiated a 30% raise after 18 months by documenting his measurable contribution to revenue. Income increase plus expense control plus index investing. 3 levers. Compare that with the median American 20-something. According to a 2025 Empower Personal Wealth study, the median millennial net worth is $135,000, but the bottom quartile is essentially zero. The difference is almost never income. The difference is the 4 levers applied with monotony for around 7 years. Here is the line you need to internalize. Wealth is not built in moments of brilliance. It is built in moments of boring discipline, repeated for so long that the math finally catches up. CTA 1213 Min. If this video reframed how you think about your first $100,000, subscribe. This channel exists to give you the specific, data-backed financial frameworks that 99% of advisors will never explain because they do not get paid to. No fluff, no hype. Just the math, the case studies, and the levers that actually move your net worth. Hit subscribe and the next video will land in your feed when it matters most, when you are still early enough to use it. Outro 1315 Min. Here is the final thought I want you to sit with. Charlie Munger was not being dramatic when he said the first $100K is a bitch. He was being mathematically honest. Below that line, you are the engine. Above that line, the market starts doing the heavy lifting, and the further you climb, the more it does for you. The viewers who quit at $40K and start over 5 years later did not lose money. They lost time. And time is the one ingredient in compounding you cannot buy back. So pick your number. Pick your savings rate. Pick your index fund. Automate it tonight. Then forget it exists for 7 years. You will not remember most of the things you bought in that time. You will absolutely remember the day your portfolio crossed 6 figures. If this hit my breakdown of why high earners stay broke, the income trap that catches doctors, lawyers, and tech workers, will make even more sense now. It is the perfect follow-up to this one. Watch it next. Charlie Munger called the first $100,000 the hardest money you will ever earn, and the math proves him right. In this video, we break down exactly why your first 6-figure milestone is mathematically the slowest, hardest, and most important financial goal of your life, and the 4-lever system that gets you there in under 8 years, even on a median income. You will learn the real reason 80% of Americans cannot cross the line, why your savings rate matters far more than your income, and the documented case studies of people who went from $0 to $100K on normal salaries through index funds, automation, and tax-advantaged accounts. This is personal finance, investing and wealth building without the hype. Just the data, the named investors, and the frameworks that actually work for financial freedom and passive income. Timestamps: 0000, the Munger quote that changes everything 00. 45, why compounding is useless below $100 K03. 00, the hidden reason 80% stay stuck 06. 00, the four-lever system 09. 00, case study. $0 to $100 K in under 7 years 12. 00, subscribe for more wealth frameworks 13. 00, final thought on time versus money. Subscribe to WealthLogic for data-driven personal finance, investing, and wealth-building content every week.